Yes. So in today's class, we will be talking about what are pinned joints and what are the rigid joints. What are pinned joints and what are the rigid joints? And what is the difference between these both? We already know that a pinned joint will have some number of reactions and a rigid joint also will have some reactions. But in today's class, we will be mostly focusing on the movement of each and every support. What is that? The movement of each and every support. So before taking into the understanding of the pinned and rigid, I will try to first make you understand one of the important aspect associated with each and every support. So I will write it down here. So first, let us talk about the supports. Okay. So if you have supports, we have fixed support, we have pinned support, and we have roller support. Okay. So this is the fixed support, and this is actually a roller support. Sorry, pinned support or hinged, pinned or hinged. This is called as a roller support. Now, let us talk about, please listen carefully. Let us talk about supports and their movements and their movements. Okay. And in this regard, let me also try to show you one very good terminology that we are going to learn, that is extensible and inextensible. What are those? Extensible, extensible, and inextensible. Extensible and inextensible. Okay. So this is what we will see first, and then we will move on to the concept of degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Now, when we talk about the fixed support, so imagine a case where a complete steel rod of overall length is attached to the wall of a structure. Is attached to the wall of a structure. Now, will it move in any direction? Is there a chance that it will move in any direction? Do we can we assess that, or can we try to say that a fixed support will move in this direction and that direction? Is it possible to move? I will give an example. So now I am holding the pen with my in my hand very tightly. So now imagine a case where I am trying to push the pen. Actually, what is happening? Wherever I have holded my pen, that direction is not moving at all, which means it is not moving horizontally, it is not moving vertically, and it is not rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise. So what is happening here? A fixed support will not deflect, will not deflect, will not deflect vertically, will not deflect vertically, horizontally, and will not deflect vertically, horizontally, and will not rotate, will not rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise, clockwise or anti-clockwise, which means it is fixed wherever it is put up or wherever it is attached. That means, what do we understand here? The way a fixed support can move will be equal to zero. A fixed support will have three reactions: vertical reaction, horizontal reaction, and the moment. But a fixed support cannot have horizontal deflection, vertical deflection, and the rotation. Now let us come to pinned. Oh, pinned. Pinned is a realistic example. Pinned is a realistic example. So if we take a pinned support, what are the reactions that we have? Vertical reaction and horizontal reaction, isn't it? So, and will it have any moment? No, it will not have any moment. So, but if you take a pinned support, take the example of a door hinge. Take the example of a door hinge. So, when you are considering the door hinge, what is happening? You are moving, you are opening and closing the door, opening the door, closing the door, opening the door, closing the door. So, when we are moving and closing the door, what is happening to the hinge? Hinge is rotating. Hinge is rotating. So, it will rotate, but will not, but will not deflect, but will not deflect vertically and horizontally. Vertically, comma, horizontally. Such a good example, right? Yes. Now we have roller. Now we have roller support. So in roller support, what is happening? So in roller support, what is happening? So imagine a case where you have skating shoes. All of you just imagine you have a skating shoes. So in skating shoes, what will happen? It will move horizontally and you can turn also. You can turn. Or chapati making or puri making stick. What will happen? Our example of a pen. So this pen can roll horizontally and can rotate rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise. But will it move up? Vertical deflection? No, it will not be there. So therefore, this will rotate, will rotate and and deflect and deflect horizontally and deflect horizontally, but will not deflect vertically. Will not deflect vertically. This is the very important aspect here. Okay, so we have three supports. Now, let us try to understand the, I will draw a table. So support, type of support, reactions, reactions, movements, reactions and movements. This is a very important table, guys. If you can try to understand this, your structural analysis concepts in the coming classes will become very easy. Now let us see type of reactions and their corresponding movements. So now first let us take the fixed support. Fixed, that is this. So what are the reactions? Vertical reaction, horizontal reaction and a moment. So this is called moment. Okay, vertical reaction, horizontal reaction and a moment. Now you have to understand the difference between movement and movement. Moment is, in simple terms, force multiplied by perpendicular distance. And what is movement? Movement is deflection or rotation. So here, what are the movements? Zero. There won't be any movements. So, but what are the reactions? Three. Okay. Now let us go to hinged or pinned. Hinged or pinned. So for this type of support, what are the reactions? Vertical reaction, horizontal reaction, and we have two reactions. And m is equal to 0. That means rotation, that is moment is equal to 0. Now, what are the movements? What are the movements? I have just written it here. It will only rotate. It will only rotate. It will only rotate, and therefore it is 1. Next, we have roller, which is shown like this, and it has only vertical reaction, but that is 1, and m is equal to 0, h is equal to 0. Okay, so because m and h are 0, it will try to rotate and move horizontally, that is 2. So horizontal deflection and rotation. So What is the understanding that we are getting from this concept now? For any support, it will have three reaction components. If it has all three components, then deflection and rotation are zero. See the relation here. If it has all three components, then deflection and rotation are zero. That's what is happening here. Next, for example, if you take pinned, it has horizontal reaction and vertical reaction. But what happens to moment? Moment is zero. Because moment is zero, it can rotate. If you have moment, it will not allow you to rotate, right? It will not allow you to rotate. And if you have vertical reaction, it is not allowed to deflect in that direction because it is a reaction. When will we have reaction? When an object is subjected to load, it will react. See, if somebody tries to push me, I will move forward. I am reacting for the push. Because somebody is pushing, I am reacting with an equal force to oppose it or to move it. But if nobody is pushing me, nobody is trying to put some force on me, I have the see. For example, I'm giving a simple example to all of you. Just see it here. All of you can see uh, see my video right now. I just stopped sharing. Just see my video. I'll just try to give that specific understanding to you. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, I have spotlighted to everyone. Now all of you can see me. I will just try to explain about the reaction and the movements. See, I'm carrying a weight on the head. I'm carrying a weight on the head. Okay. So now, can I move head anyways? Can I move my head in any direction? I have it because if it is a heavy weight, I cannot move my head in any direction. All of you can see this. Because I am carrying heavy weight on my head, I am not allowed to move. Like my head will not allow me to move. That means there is a force here that is acting, and there is a reaction from the bottom to the top on my head. So when there is a force or a moment acting at any point, you don't have any deflection or rotation. But now I'm removing the weight now. Now I am removing the weight. Now when I remove the weight, what is happening? Now see, I can slowly rotate my head. I can see up and down. I can see left and right. So whenever you don't have a force or a moment at that point, you will be having a deflection or rotation. Simple. Now one more example. One more example. See, somebody is trying to push me towards this side of mine. Now, can I move towards this weight, the box that I'm carrying in my hand? All of you should see the screen, my video. So, can I move this side? No, see, I'm not able to move this side because there is an opposite reaction happening in the form of this box. So now that means there is a horizontal reaction to my head. There is a horizontal reaction to my head. Now I am removing this. Once I remove this, what will happen? Oh, I can move it. So I can move my head horizontally. So when there is no horizontal reaction, my head will move horizontally. Similarly, again, vertical force. So see vertical force. So vertical force is putting on my head, and I cannot move my head up to the maximum extent. But any vertical force is removed, I can move my head. Like that, see, somebody is holding me like this. See my position right now. Somebody is holding me like this. I just stuck here. I cannot move. I cannot rotate my head or I cannot turn back. But if I remove this position, I can see back. So what is happening here? Rotation. So if somebody is opposing me, it's a moment. So whenever you have moment, you don't have rotation. Whenever you don't have moment, at that point you will have rotation. And same is the case with deflection also. Okay. So now I'll share the screen again. Yes. So hope this is clear for all of you with respect to the concept that is just explained right now. Okay. Now let us move to, if somebody has doubts also you can put it to the chat box. Otherwise you can just say it is clear so that I'll move to the next topic. So the concept or the difference between different types of supports, reactions and movements, that's done. So reactions are associated with the static indeterminacy and movements are associated with the kinematic indeterminacy. Static indeterminacy and kinematic indeterminacy. Okay. So now let us try to understand the further concept here now. What is extensible and what is inextensible? So let us take extensible. Okay. Extensible means axial behavior. Axial behavior is allowed. Axial behavior is allowed. And inextensible means I am writing it in simple terms, not textbook definition. Axial behavior is not allowed. Axial behavior is not allowed. So now what is the understanding here? Let us try to take an example as I just said before, that whenever we are trying to allow the movement of any object or any beam or anything horizontally, so horizontal movement is corresponding to the axial behavior. Axial means horizontal. If something is allowed to stretch horizontally, it is extensible. If something is not allowed to stretch or contract, then it is inextensible. In simple terms, that's it. So if we are able to stretch, elongate, or contract an object, it is called as extensible thing. If it is not possible, then it is inextensible. That means, like, see for example, I can take the example of a rubber band. So if I take the example of a rubber band, so what will happen if I'm holding it with two hands and trying to stretch on both sides? It is extensible, but I have hold one end very tightly and only I am releasing one end. So it is extensible in one direction and inextensible in another direction. But if I am holding rubber band in two directions without pulling it, so can someone pull it? Not possible. That is called as inextensible. So in brief, that is about the concept associated with extensible and inextensible. Okay, and various types of supports. Now then comes the concept called kinematic indeterminacy. What is that? Kinematic indeterminacy. Kinematic indeterminacy. Such an important topic this is. So this is also called as, so this is called as also called as degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom. See, degrees of freedom means degrees of freedom. So in what way it can move? We have already seen that, right? A fixed support will have degrees of freedom 0 because it cannot move anywhere. And a pinned support will have degrees of freedom 1 because it can rotate. And a roller support will have degrees of freedom 2. So it can move horizontally as well as it can rotate. So, how do we define this? I will show the definition now. So now let us try to understand the terminology. So we have seen static. See, static means constant, so no movement. Static means no movement. Kinematic. Kinematic means, what is the meaning of kinematic? Kinematic itself corresponds to an object that has capacity to move. An object that has capacity to move. An object that has capacity to move, which can move. Very simple. Which can move. Over, no? So static, no movement corresponds to reactions. Corresponds to reactions. And kinematic, which can move, corresponds to deflection as well as rotation. Deflection as well as rotation. Deflection as well as rotation. So that is how we try to define these two important terms, very, very important terms. That is kinematic indeterminacy as well as degrees of freedom. So now I'll put this into a box such that it's an important definition for all of you. So now what I will do, so if somebody has doubts, you can ask in between. So whether you have understood what's happening here and what's going wrong, if there's some difficulty, that is also possible, you can ask. So this is how we try to define various supports, their movements, their extensibility, inextensibility, and kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, yeah. So let us try to understand the behavior of a hinged joint and a rigid joint. So we have already seen a hinged joint. So you can see that how it behaves. So difference between hinged frame and rigid frame. Okay. Now if you can see here, whenever a load is applied in a frame, this is actually a frame. You have rotation for this beam and you have rotation at this column also. It is rotating as well as deflecting. So both ways. And for a rigid structure, see how this is behaving. So instead of speaking theoretically, I will try to share a screen which will be giving you a clear understanding of how exactly a pinned support and a hinged rigid support would behave. All of you can see the video right now. So first of all, a base connection is put up. See, base connections are put up first. And then a column was attached. A column was attached to the base connection. And then they are putting a pinned connection at the top. All of you should see a pinned connection at the top. And they are connecting with a beam. So this is called as a C now. C. All of you should see, I have just passed it. So whenever a pinned connection was put and whenever a horizontal force is applied, you can see that this is a frame and is applying a horizontal force. See what is happening? A pinned connection, it is actually falling down. So this is called as hypostatic structure, technically. Now what he's trying to do? He's trying to control that horizontal movement by the provision of some inclined members which are called braces. Now you see how it is moving. So this is undergoing compression. This is actually a truss kind of behavior that we will see in the coming classes. But now all of you have understood what is a pin now. Now let us try to take, he is providing a rigid connection. You can see here. At bottom, a rigid connection is provided in both the sides. And at the top also, he will provide a rigid connection. So rigid and pinned, difference should be understood clearly. See here, at the top also, he has provided a rigid connection. And here also, one more rigid connection. Now he is trying to push it. See what's happening? Is it falling down? No. But what you can see here, see my cursor. So there is a kind of deflection and a rotation. So this is moving on the left hand side or right hand side. So there is a rotation as well as the kind of movement that is being developed there. So that is how rigid connection is. Now the bottom rigid connections are removed. Now what is happening? This is called as hyperstatic stress. This is called as hyperstatic structure. This is called as hyperstatic structure. So you should understand that if there is only pinned connection, there is a high chance that it will deflect and fall down. But if you have a rigid connection, it will rotate and it will not fall down and it will make the structure to be stable at that point. You can see that here, right? This is isostatic. So hypostatic means if both edges are actually pinned at the top, that is hypostatic. If both edges are pinned as well as rigid, then it is hyperstatic. If one end is pinned and one end is rigid, it is called isostatic. So that is the difference you need to understand overall. So with this concept of understanding a pinned or a rigid, we will try to see the degree of kinematic indeterminacy in the next class. Okay. So guys, 11 o'clock also I'll be taking structural analysis class. There won't be water source engineering class today for you. So please, all of you join again at 11 o'clock sharp. Okay. And Dharmender, you can send the snapshot of this class attendance. And in the next class, I will be finishing off kinematic indeterminacy. And then we will have the um trust problems in the mostly. I will also take the afternoon first class also, because strength of material sir is also not taking today. So nobody knows, afternoon class I might conduct a surprise test. Afternoon class I might conduct a surprise test. So those who have not understood pinned and rigid connection, I will explain at 11 o'clock again. Okay, 11 o'clock, number 94, please wait till 11 o'clock.